embracing the divine and shunning the demonic, the 26 qualities that make man godlike. Today I'm reading from the Bhagavad-Gita, the Royal Science of Knowing God, and this is a commentary and translation by Paramahansa Yogananda. It's 26 qualities, so we're going to make 26 videos. Today we start with number 1, fearlessness. Fearlessness is mentioned first because it is the impregnable rock on which the house of the spiritual life must be erected. Fearlessness means faith in God, faith in his protection, his justice, his wisdom, his mercy, his love, his omnipresence. The spiritually intrepid devotee is mightily armed against the foe that obstruct advancement. Disbelief and doubt, delusion's first line of attack, are summarily routed by the undaunted faith, as are desires and all of their enticements that bluff with the threats of unhappiness if not embraced. Fear robs man of the indomitability of his soul, disrupting nature's harmonious workings emanating from the source of the divine power within. Fear causes physical, mental, and spiritual disturbances. Extreme fright can even stop the heart and bring sudden death. Long continued anxieties give rise to psychological complexes and chronic nervousness. Fear ties the mind and heart feeling to the external man, causing the consciousness to be identified with the mental or physical nervousness, thus keeping the soul concentrated on the ego, the body, and the objects of fear. The devotee should discard all misgivings, realizing them to be stumbling blocks that hinder his concentration on the intrepidable peace of the soul. In olden times in India and in Christian tradition also, it was customary for sages to seek solitary abode in the forests, deserts, or mountains for uninterrupted meditations. These remote areas, free from civilized invasion, were the natural habitat of such creatures as snakes, scorpions, and predatory wild animals. In India, even in this present age, we grew up with inspiring tales of eyewitness accounts of the reclusive saints whose sole companions were cobras and scorpions, placidly seeking warmth against the saint's body, or fearsome tigers become pussycats. And who is not thrilled to the legend of Saint Francis of Assisi, who tamed the bloody lust of the wolf of Gubbio? Beasts are conscious of the divine vibrations emanating from saints, because God-knowing saints see the Lord in everything, not in imagination, but realization. They neither harbor fears nor arouse defensive fears in the Lord's creature kingdom. For the unenlightened, the best advice is caution along with courage. Fearlessness in spirit without rashly exposing oneself to unnecessary risks or to conditions that may arouse apprehension. Everyone is given ample opportunities without willfully creating them to demonstrate courage and prove the power of faith. Death is perhaps the ultimate challenge of faith in the mortal man. Fear of this inevitability is foolish, It comes only once in a lifetime. And after it has come, the experience is over without having affected our true identity or diminished in any way our real being. Illness also is gauntlet tossed at the feet of faith. An ill person should try earnestly to rid himself of his malady. Then, even if doctors proclaim there is no hope, he should remain tranquil, for fear shuts the eyes of faith to the omnipotent, compassionate, divine presence. Instead of indulging anxiety, he should affirm, I am ever safe in the fortress of thy loving care. A fearless devotee, scrambling to an incurable disease, concentrates on the Lord and becomes ready for liberation from the bodily prison into the glorious afterlife of the astral world. Thereby he advances closer to the goal of supreme liberation in his next life. A man who dies in terror, having surrendered to despair his faith in God, in remembrance of his immortal nature, carries with him into the next incarnation that bleak pattern of fear and weakness. This imprint may well attract to him similar calamities, a continuation of a karmic lesson not yet learned. The heroic devotee, however, though he may lose the battle with death, yet wins the war of freedom. All men are meant to realize that soul consciousness can triumph over every external disaster. When subconscious fears repeatedly invade the mind in spite of one's strong mental resistance, it is an indication of some deep-seated karmic pattern. The devotee must strive even harder to devote his attention by infusion of his consciousness with the thoughts of courage. Further, and most important, he should confide himself completely into God's trustworthy hands. To be fit for self-realization, man must be fearless. So that was the number one on the list of 26 soul qualities that make man godlike. God became man so man can become God. The Bhagavad-Gita, the royal science of God realization. Tomorrow, number 2 is purity of heart. May peace be on your soul. Love you. Bye.